Um, Today I am in EVT short to highlight that productivity is often about choices and to highlight that future is not determined and you will have a lot of varieties in futures and your system needs to somehow manipulate with this variety of the future. Um, while we're starting, before we're starting, I want you to tell about tomorrow. Tomorrow we will start learning about organization information, but you will see lots of connection about from this topic and the current topic. And I'll ask you first bring your laptops with you. There will be a lot of type settings, so smartphone will be not enough. So we will make significant part of the exercise just by typesetting some ideas and try to link it. So please bring your laptops. Also install Obsidian MD. This Obsidian has a program for both Windows, Mac, and Linux. So you will find some. And additionally, you can bring something that will help you deep work, headphones, maybe teacups, maybe you will go to have a tea in the kitchen, maybe plate or something like this. So we will have about at least I think half an hour, but maybe more, maybe less. It depends on how much time will be. Always that by trying to feel how deep works with node spinning. So we will have this demo session with deep node and understanding why it is important to our productivity and for our life in academia. So this is about tomorrow. Today I asked you yesterday, and I remember you today morning to fill your inbox. And also I reflect on my inbox during the past 2 days, and I want to give this example to show what is the typical stuff in inbox just for me. And by this example, I want to tell why this inbox idea is important, why this idea of you put in one position and then you reflect on another position another time is important. So during past 2 days, I have a lot of ideas about these lectures because you see I'm rewriting them on time. For example, I switch level 1 productivity but closer to the beginning, so you will be more fresh. I have some decisionals project. For example, we have a MS student that come to our lab and we discuss and we have good time, but now we need somehow to integrate him, and nobody make it explicit. So I have in my inbox that we already discussed, and now I need the next section. Next section will be to call a woman that owns the device when we will come with him. But I need to think this stuff. I don't know it in the time when we just met and decide that it will be okay him to join us. Also, I need to answer for a person. I hold another ISP course on LaTeX, and there is a man who was absent, and he was absent more times than education allowed, but he was in hospital, so it is a reason that it is excuse, but still I need to refigure, is it okay, need I be very rigid and ask him, spravka or not, and well, I need this thinking process, and I can't do it when he is writing, because when he is writing, I'm busy on my work. I have some own ideas. For example, do I need to buy waterproof notepad to feel some ideas during the shower or not? And if I buy it in ozone and I will have a disappointment of the idea during the day this notepad comes, it will be a pity. So maybe I wait for this day to rethink this idea. Is it do I need it really or not? I have some reference information about, for example, IP of the recording on this this uh, uh, auditory. I have interesting just articles and videos. For example, I found videos about memories, and I want to watch them sometimes because all the last two lectures will be mostly about memory, and I want to figure out how it works. And I have some ideas about next lecture. I put some dictaphone, so I don't know how many of them because I will listen to the dictaphone uh, for after the course end. And why I'm showing about it to tell what's the typical thoughts, what's the typical ideas, what's the typical tasks I come to inbox. And I want to highlight. Hello, please remind your Alexei, yeah? Alexei Kamelin. Alexei Kamelin. Alexei Kamelin. Uh, so to highlight at first that there are some typical stuff that are coming to my head and then to coming to the box, and also to highlight that for most of these tasks I have benefit by waiting and not responding to them now because I have this um, a short period to decide. I short need to decide what to do with my our new MS student. I need to decide how to do with the person who was absent. I need to decide, need I buy this Waterford book or not? I need to decide where to store information about IP and so on and so forth. The decision are quite easy, so it's not, solving integral, but still I need the stuff, and to decide I need slow motion, and this is very hard to do while I am just receiving these tasks. Okay, what's about your inbox? I ask you to hold the inbox for a day, for at least a day. And now I will ask you to work with your inbox and try to categorize it in such things I do. So try to see how many people you write and you need some action, how many ideas for future, and so on and so forth. Try to categorize your inbox for your own, and then please just count how many ideas and tasks are there in total, and uh, how many of them may take benefit from the delay. So you will, if you don't make it at the time they come and you have a delay, how many of them have a benefit. So try to do it by your own in the paradigm like this. So come see your inbox and try to find. I will give you uh, 2 minutes. Hmm? Okay, I will give you more minutes. Okay, I will give you 4 minutes. 4 minutes to make it. So analyze your inbox. Try to categorize it. It's not a scientific category. It's just what do you think these categories might be, and try to see what is your regular, well, not regular, but at least in one day comes to your head. Well, it's not scientific categories. You can put it as you feel. It's well, it's okay if there are not so many. Now we are categorized not to do with, something with it. We categorize just to give you some broader view of your tasks. So it is not will not make it to some context or something like this. So just for you to see the broad idea. Do you need more time? Who done who characterize all this? Okay, so you need more time, yeah? I will give you a few more minutes. Hello. Please remind you're Maxim, yeah? Maxim Smirnov. Okay. So a few more minutes. Let's give you a few more minutes. Maxim, what we are doing, I asked you to put anything to your inbox. This is example of my inbox. And please try to put your things to some categories. How many of them are about people you asked? How many of them are about new ideas and so on and so forth? It's not about scientific. It's just about give yourself a feel of what is your regular day. So try to do it. So we'll have about 2 more minutes for those of you who are still working on. And yeah. So try not to only categorize, but understand as there are tasks that are better to make it immediately. But I hope that you feel that for more of them, a little delay, a little shift will have an how it's called advantage. Make have an advantage. So try to see is it for you or not. Okay, let's start but slowly. So, how many inboxes you have during this period? How many records you have? Yeah, by from in a day, So in a day, how many? Just 5, okay. What about you, for example? 3. How many inboxes do you have? 3. Okay. So what about you? 9. Okay. What? 5. Okay. So what's how many inboxes do you have? 7. Okay. 8. So you see, yeah. You see, during the day there is no so many inbox. Maybe I suppose that you don't write anything because you don't have such habit yet. But still, for me, it's usually from 5 to 20 inboxes, and 5 or 10 is more frequent than 20. 20 is when I go for some conference and I have a lot of interesting posters and I want a lot of interesting new people. So usually it's for 5 to 10 inboxes. There are not enough. There are not many. So it is not taking money time to analyze them. And uh, yeah, but do you analyze what they are? What categories do you have? Can you some of you tell what categories of your how you can categorize it? Okay, what about you? Okay, okay. Well, there is an interesting idea I will told you later, but I'll mark it now. Okay, you don't understand what it is, but I understand, so I will return to it. Uh, how many of them have some advantage by when you delay, when you have the delay about before you get the inbox and before you somehow proceeded? So is this all of them or mostly of them doesn't have this advantage? What is for you now? So when you have a task, you have two options: like to make it when you get it, or you can put it to inbox and you can proceed it further in some with some delay. So my thesis is that while if you have a delay, for example, for my inbox, if I have a delay, then I will have an advantage. By the way, how many have I get? I have 6. No, 0, 0, 0 to 11 regular plus lots of ideas, but 11 is a, a number of my regular inboxes in yesterday besides the ideas. Okay, do you have the advantage while if you are not doing it now, if you have a time to think, if you have a time to understand what they want from you? What do you mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, this is a clever idea because there are recent boxes that are better to proceed in place, and what you're taking is more about um, work by hand. So work when you don't need to think something, and the work that is going worse and worse while you are not proceeding. If you are not proceed wash your plates one day, the next day it will be better, which will be worse. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is it. 2 minutes ideas is something like this. Okay, do you have a category a task that are somehow similar to my tasks? That someone asks you something that you or someone there is a meeting you can come, for example, after the friend you invite, and you need to check is you free this day. Do you have such kind of records in your inbox? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you need a delay about that. You need a delay for sending. Yeah, it is not the same, but still it is the same in the point that you really need wait, but be sure that you will do it. Okay, anything like this? So no inboxes like I have. I don't believe it, guys. I'm sure that the thing with inboxes and why it is so important, because when you just remind what you have your mind very emotional charged ideas. So I will never remind if you ask me what I have to do that day. I remind that I have a lecture for you. I remind that, for example, I have some problems, but I'll never remind for myself that I have to decide what to do with this guy, because I just it's just not it's just tiny thing. It's not a very emotional charge, so I forget it. But it eat my time and it eat my energy. So if you don't have any of task like this, um, my I am point is that you don't put anything in your inbox as I ask you. So and this is a problem if you want to start real productivity, and I'll tell where to start. But inbox have the very uh, central idea there. Then about I forget Alexei. Yeah, Alexei told what's your again? What is your category? Was work, home? Yeah. So we will talk about categorizing tomorrow, but uh, when I want to tell you the interesting difference between these categories and between categories that Alexei told. You can categorize things in multiple ways. You can categorize it by the uh, area of choice. You can categorize what by the way you want to do these things, and this is somehow horizontal and vertical division of every category you have. And while I preparing this slide, I was not thinking about uh, will I choose one thing or another, but it was automatically. Um, why it is was automatically and why I pointed now, because yesterday we was talking about put the things similar. So you remember to tire less, you need less context switch, and you need to uh, give similar tasks to each other. Yeah, remember this? Great. And the similar tasks is usually it's not the tasks that related just to one area. The similar tasks are usually about related to similar of what you will do with them. So, and you see this stuff. You see that there are some ideas. I need to do one thing with ideas. I need to do other things with answering. I need to do the another thing with watching interesting articles. So automatically I group it by the thing I will do with them. I will do with this inbox, and this is a grouping that I want you to think about it. But now we will go on further. I hope that at least that this exercise was somehow uh, good for you, and at least you see the real example of the inboxes. Go further. Plan for today. We have a depth from yesterday. So yesterday we talked about the main flow, the main idea of how to create your system, and we have talked in declarative way. So how the world will be beautiful when you will have the system. We don't talk about how to proceed it. Today we will talk about firstly about things we leave for today. We don't talk about planning. We wasn't talking about goal setting. We wasn't talking about creative tasks and time energy consuming tasks. We will talk about this. And but also another very important idea that we will focus it is implementation. So okay, we have lots of ideas how to create your own system, and I will suggest you a starting point. I hope that you will at least try to follow the starting point and see will it happen, if to you is it suitable for you or not. Okay, remind about difference between lesson 2 and lesson 3. Sorry, I have water in my glass now. And and also I want to again highlight. Sorry. Uh, and also I want once again highlight of what inbox is and why it is so important. So it's allowed you. The first problem idea is it allowed you not to be distracted while you are in deep work, and deep work is most productive work, and also you are more happy when you are working in deep state. So two benefits at one. Also, it helps to sort, and also it have if useful when ideas are not raised in some context that you can implement them. For example, I have idea about past lectures, so what I want to rethink in next when I will make this course next time, and it will happen, for example, in a year. So I need to store somewhere them, but ideas arise yesterday. So where to store them? Firstly, I store them to inbox. Inbox is the main central part. Productivity, well, is about two things: about doing, about choosing what to do. We make this stuff yesterday. About do the stuff we see this stuff yesterday. It was about this similarity batching effect, but also about thinking about goal setting and planning. And today we'll focus on these two parts. But first, about planning. Planning is not goal setting uh, because you have a different state of mind. What's the difference? What do you think? What is the difference between goal setting and planning? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you set the goal, you don't see the result. Goal setting, not the goal, but goal setting. What's the difference? Okay, what do you think? Yeah, exactly. Goal setting is about think what you want to in this life and so on and so on. Plan is just okay. I want to go there. How I can get it? And this is different tactics. This is different strategies. And we will talking about planning firstly and about goal setting closer to the end. Uh, so, what is planning about, and why do we need it? Because you remember again from the last lectures, and you need this simple next action. You remember that you need somehow to put similar things together to make the centrifuge stage, and when to do it. We do it in the planning stage. And you need planning to simplify your life. Uh, Planning results when you have we when you have an action. We have one of the following results. You can decide that we will do something on time. You can decide that you will do something well now, or you can do it anytime. So you put the next action. You can put it. You can delegate it. You may decide that you don't want to do it, and you may decide that you may want, may not, and then you'll put just into ideas and recap it once in a while. Uh, Learning about simplify life, and this is the essential idea why again I really hate the plan of the day, because well, sometimes you have strength, and sometimes you see that you can do everything, and sometimes you say, oh, I don't want to do anything, I just want to die. There are two stages in your life, and you're planning in the present, you're planning about future, but planning always in present when you plan. And in this present, you know that you have a strength to plan. Because if you don't have the strength, you will not plan now, you will plan when you have the strength. And we know that you will be good, that you're good now. But in the future, when you need to make the tasks you plan, you don't know will you be at good point or a bad point. And so you need somehow to help your future self. Uh, so if you see this toporic, this canonical time management system, and you tell, okay, I will at 6 p.m. I will have the task. Then you're not simplifying your future life. You just make it more rigid. You just make it more hard because in the future you are not the Superman. In the future you're tired as well. But if you sell, okay, let me make my task future self easier, and let me simplify these tasks. Then you may have energy to do it. So this is what mentally why it is important. So idea of the plan that you are not putting just somewhere something. The idea of the planning is that you try to simplify your future. Running is a habit. One of you German, I suppose, asked me yesterday. So how to make this planning? And now I want to ask you. So planning is a habit. You know from the first lecture what habits must be pursued. So habits must have triggers. Habits must have simple tasks. Habits must have motivation, not only on purpose, but hopefully they have motivation in process. So you need somehow to make these rewards in time. And planning is a habit. So try to use your knowledge about habits to understand when, how to plan. So try to reverse your day and see where you have time to plan where what trigger may be, and how to simplify it, and what motivation it can be, except the motivation on purpose, except that we plan to simplify the other life. So do it by yourself. I will give you about, I think, 5 minutes, 5 minutes and a half. Please do it and try to simplify to understand how, according to BJ Fogg behavioral model, I remind that this is the stuff about that what triggers was there but not there. According to this model, how planning may be. Oh, come on. What? Oh, great. Thanks. Yeah, yeah. You're right. I'm so minus. I test you. I test you, and you pass the test. Okay, so please decide what planning habit may be, and this is essential because again you're going to the course of productivity, and I hope that you care not just to listen but to try to implement something. And the habit you're about to create now, it's one of the core part of your future productivity system. So go on and try to understand what the planning habits may be for you. Okay, do you need more time? Okay, so what's the habit? What you found, for example? Well, what will be the trigger, for example, for okay, nice. What was will be the trigger for you? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Well, this is very interesting question. I can answer it in different levels. Well, in the very deepest level, you was talking about Van Gogh yesterday, and we were asking was Van Gogh productive, and you may I don't know was Van Gogh productive and had he plan, but I know, for example, that my mom, she's a scientist, and she doesn't have plan, and she is okay with her productivity at all. She don't want to be make some more ideas. She don't like to make uh, something unusual. She going as it going, and so that's okay to not having plan. But well, as another level, from your question, I suppose that you don't quite get the idea of planning in the system in the GTD and in the systems that I want to suggest you. Uh, Planning is not about put the task to is that that time. It's we are used to that. Planning is that you can, okay, I have a task, I need to make it at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and this is a planning. But it is not. So planning is about simplifying your life. And when you have inbox, you plan not to make them not in the sense that you give them time tomorrow on the day yes after tomorrow, depending on how many tasks you already have in tomorrow on the day after tomorrow. You're planning them as simplifying, as thinking where to start. So while I'm answering for example, while I'm choosing what to do with our new MS person in our lab, I was choosing what to do. I am not choosing when I will to do it. I can do it the next morning when I will be ready. But still, I make the decision. I know where to start. This is planning about. Well, but in the first level of your question, it's okay not to plan every day because if you sure that there are, for example, free inboxes and you're sure that that will be okay, and all these free inboxes are related for some a very long future, and you will not be nervous by understanding that you don't understand what the system is. It's okay to plan not every day, but I suggest to do it only when you're really ready. Okay, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. When I'm talking about simplifying, decide what to do is a part of the simplification. It's well, a very essential part of the simplification, not only, but essential part to what to understand what to do with this stuff. Yeah. So this is Planck is about too. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Well, we will talk about Typically, at least at canonical GTD that I start from, it was saying that you need to make only one next action, not all the roadmap. But for sometimes you need to make roadmaps. But well, this the first action and the next action are somehow different because the next action is the stuff then you are sure you will start, and all the roadmap is just just reference information because maybe you done first next action and then your life changing completely and all rest is not for you. So it's okay to make a roadmap, but it's okay to make a roadmap just to put it out from your head, but not to make this rigid and to be sure that you will go for this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Very often, your next session may be ask, for example, the supervisor to do something, and then the supervisor tell, yeah, yeah, for example, or he can tell this project strategy. She can tell that read in this article, this is all done. So your next action may change all the roadmap, but if it's stuck in your head, if you think about it constantly, it is okay to write it. Well, return to the planning. Nesta, do you have trigger with for your plan? Goal settings. Okay, so why? Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah. So who can share his trigger with us? What? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah. So what about you? Do you have a trigger? Yeah. Well, but yeah, but the thing I am talking about the last two lectures, it's about to divorce the having new task by planning the task. So uh, if you believe that the system is working, I want you to try when you have new task, not to plan this task, but put it in box, and then there will be a separate habit to deal with this box. So, do you have a trigger? Do you find a trigger for your planning routine? So what's the trigger? When you will start the planning routine? So not what you are doing is there, but when you are starting. Sorry again, can you repeat? Yes, so what trigger means, it's from the first lecture. Trigger is some event after what you will do the habit routine. For example, you go to school tech and then you go to cafeteria, and the trigger will be that you went to school tech, for example. Or you feel hungry and you are going to dinner, the trigger is the feelings of hungry. So what will be the trigger of the routine that uh, of the planning routine that we are talking about? Well, if you go, if we about we talk about eating, then yes, yeah, but it is maybe another trigger. Okay, well, let's because there are many of you, I will not this, but I want to highlight to Nastya and for you why I ask you to make planning routine, why I ask you to make it constant habit and not just from time to time, because I want you to not to switch to your entire life, but I want you to try a new mindset of productivity. We are planning from time to time because sometimes we see that, yeah, okay, we have a lot of tasks, we have a lot of ideas, and yeah, we need to plan, and there is some inner trigger. But I want you to try at least for a few weeks. another routine uh, to put everything to inbox and then planning, because even if we have three inboxes, who tells that you have three inbox in a day? One of you tells that, okay, so one of you have three inbox in a day, but still there are three inbox. There are I don't remember the day when I have a zero inbox. So every day we have are some new inboxes to proceed, and why I want to have this planning stage. It may not work. Maybe you will see that it's okay, that your productivity is okay for now. But if you want to increase it, trust me that when you uh, put all you can that go into you not and done to inbox and not rushing it, not doing it now, uh, you will increase your productivity. If you are not doing it now, if you want for yourself a time to think, then you will need inbox stage, and you will need planning stage, and you will need a routine. You will need to be sure that you will proceed this inbox, because if you tell it from time to time, you are not sure that you will proceed it when you have, and you will be afraid that you will lose these tasks and going to inbox. And if you think that you will lose it, you will not put them into inbox, because tasks are, well, things that you want to do. Okay, I do my best to tell why it is support to be a habit. What is about motivation? What do you think about what motivates you to do inbox? Maybe you have some ideas what can motivate you to do inbox. Well, yeah, that's great. Well, but I tell when I ask you this task, I tell that there are motivational purpose and motivational process, and ask especially to focus on motivational of process, how to make it uh, feel good while you're done do something. If you think about something like this, if you think about something what will help you to be motivated, staying well in the process, not about thinking about the result. Okay, who think about some motivations? Yeah. Okay, what's for you? Yeah, yeah. So the process of writing them down is motivated because it's relief. Yeah. Well, what I want you still to think about it. What you tell both of you is true, but also what I want to think about it is if you want to create a planning stage, and I really ask you to try create planning stage. First, make it time bounded. You remember that all time bounded is easier. So my planning is not more than a half an hour, but usually I am done in 10 minutes. 10 minutes in a day, it's well, it's not a lot of time, but it really helps the persistent box. But never more than a half of an hour. I leave some important things of planning stage. So there are something that I know that I need to do, but also I know that I need this planning stage, because planning stage, as I tried to tell you the last lesson and this lesson, the planning stage is essential to make this centrifuge, to simplify things and to make your life easier in future. So sometimes I leave some things just to make these things that I need to plan. And also I doing something with, while during planning, this 2 minutes rule that we are talking about yesterday, and we mentioned by you today. So 2 minutes rule, when while during planning you do some stuff, the emotions about that you're productive and emotions about that you're done now is very essential to continue this planning stage. Um, so uh, again, uh, why planning from time to time is not the good idea if you want to be more productive, if you want to go follow the theme I tried to draw you with these lessons. Because, well, what's the difference between inbox and dump? Свалка. What's the difference? So we put everything to inbox, and there is really a mess in inbox. So what's the difference between inbox and a dump? Yeah, so yeah, first difference is that you have a motivation to see it, and or someone else. There was another idea. Yeah. Yeah, but it is I say more one of seconds, but not the core. Well, the yeah, the I think the only difference between inbox and the dump is regularity of viewing and cleaning it. So if again all the procedure, I want to tell you this two lessons, and we'll start when we'll start with habits. That you need to have this inbox stage to have give you a time to think about the stuff, to decide what to do, because decision is about slow system, and to activate slow system every time it's very annoying. It's and you need to decide, you need to have time to simplify and so on and so forth, so you need the stage to be productive, and you need to put somewhere all things that are annoying you while you're deep work. So if you're going to deep work and someone writes you something, you need a stage to just to put it somewhere and think about it later. But if you put it somewhere and you're not sure that you are listening, if you're not sure that this time will come, all CM is ruined. So you need this. You need to be sure that inbox will be cleaned. Okay, and this was the stage that lead us to level one of productivity. So level one. I think we will have a 10 minutes break now, and then we will go straight to implementation of start. I will tell the starting point and what I want to suggest you from uh, from level one. Yeah. Again, for people who was late, I want to show you this slide. People who was late, Alexei and Maxim. Yeah, this is a slide for you. Please tomorrow bring your laptops. Uh, Install Obsidian. I will duplicate this information to Telegram chat. Install Obsidian, and maybe bring something that will help you, to stay focused, deep work. Headphones, maybe a cup of tea if you know where to get tea in Skoltech. So something like this, we will pay for at least half an hour, I hope, by trying to work with notes and trying to work in deep with notes. So this slide was what? What? Yeah, Obsidian, it's notes and it's offline on computer. And please install this app. I will share how it works tomorrow. Okay, let's continue, I think. Okay, let's continue. We are still 2 guys left, but 10 minutes are over. So, okay, guys, please look here. So we are about to combine all the stuff together, and as you can understand that it is the third lecture about productivity, and this lectures are held from 3 hours. This topic is really broad, and it really has a lot of ideas, lot of fundamentals, and so on and so forth. So it is hard to understand where to start, and it is even harder because pretty no one really tell where to start. Pretty no one, everyone tells just, well, just use whole my system and it will be fine. So I was thinking what to do with you and how to start with you, and I hope I find a starting point. But we'll see is it suitable for you. I'll really ask you to test and to see what will happen. Okay, but first I'll remind you of what we were all about uh, the last lecture and this lecture. So uh, what all this stuff is about. Stuff is about that you need a start work routine. And to start working, you need triggers. You remember that there are some triggers for start working, but usually the simple, for example, you're going to work and this is a start a trigger of working. But also you need simple actions that you motivate you to start. And these actions are not always in your to-do list by itself, because for most of the actions, again, you need to decide what to do, you need to find how to simplify it, and so on and so forth. This is a stage when it's not out of the box. You need the stage of processing this box your to-dos to the stage. Also, you need to continue work. So I remind that continue is about it's easier than to start, because you are already you're working. But to continue work, you need similar tasks, because similar tasks is similar. I mean, not related to one area, not all tasks about work, but similar means that are similar by action. So in this time you working with your email. In this time you work on with code. In this time you're deciding you're answering people and so on and so forth. So similar task, and also you need to inbox to put everything else, because when you try to deport, you no one wants you per day, but in this 5 minutes when you start working, everyone asks you how's the day and what is going on, and they give you a task and so on. So you need somewhere to place this task so they will not distract you. And this is why we need inbox. So we have a list of next action that help us start. We need inbox that we put everything else. And also we need planning stage that is that is combine all this. In planning stage, we proceed inbox to and create next actions, and then we have next action, and then we have start work, and then we can continue work and so on. Can you give me an example? I don't get it for now. Yeah. Yeah. Well, answering this question is again can be in different levels. In the basic level, you create an sections to all the tasks, because if you want to do all the tasks, you need to start. And so the idea is simplify your future self, simplify your life for your future self. If you can, if you have enough activity, enough brain power to create simple tasks to all of them, then go and create to all of them. If you go to details, then maybe not, because if you have a task that will be planned in half an hour, in half of a year, then maybe everything changed in half an a year. So it's just rubbish work. So it may be created um, more closer to the day, or if there are really 40 tasks or 100 tasks and you just it's too long to plan, so no, because planning stage might be time bounded, must be no less than a half an hour, because you just tired and you can't create this stuff. But usually you create in box, you proceed all the tasks you want, because you need to understand at least where to start, at least what you want to do with them. Uh, yeah, this is again an interesting question. We will talk about this later. Typically, you create only one, but with some exceptions, we will talk about later. Uh, yeah, and besides creating next actions from inbox, you also creating next action from your projects. So if you have some project that uh, already you already done previous inbox and you will create next. So the example I tell you at the beginning, we have a master degree students that are going to our lab, and integrating this master degree student to our lab is a project for me. So the next action was meeting with this guy. Then we met, everything good, and now this task is done, and I need because it is a project, I know that I need to create an exception, because projects have next actions. And now I create next action and understand what to do next with this guy, so he is not, how it's called, не подвиснет эта задача. I will be sure that I will return to this task because I know what to do. Okay, this is the whole planning stage. I hope I spent enough time to motivate you to try this in general. I hope I spent enough time to motivate to simplify start work and to make the task similar. But this is still a lot of habits, and I uh, and you know that try to plan a lot of habits simultaneously is really bad idea, because well, uh, each habit has its brain willpower and so on. I suggest you to start with 3 habits. I suggest you to start your goal to the productivity with 3 habits. These 3 habits is still not really simple, but it is the most core part that I can find for you. I will close the door. The most core part that I can find for you, and the most simplification to start what I can find for you. So uh, start to writing just your obligation, so обязательства to inbox, and try to simplify it in the stage. And then work on timers. I exclude uh, from from this habit the part when you really have this to-do list. In this stuff, you don't have to-do list, and this may be counterintuitive, because I spent a lot of time by telling that simplify actions and putting them to-do list are essential. But in these 2 stages, the simplify actions is more essential than have a to-do list. So if you have one, if you already have this habit by watching to-do list, get it. But if you are not, try at least to just simplify. So why I'm pointing at it, and why, well, I we will. I hope that you will go to the list in the next stage. Why simplification is more important, and why if we need to sharpen our start, why we need to do it from specifications. Because when you there are a lot of tasks. Well, the vast majority of the tasks are the tasks, then you need to decide something and then to write something or to ask something and so on and so forth. And this task they well, you want have enough motivation to do it. You know that you need to write things with supervisor. You know that you need to answer your friend and so on. But the the decision itself, what to do, is tricky. The decision itself, what to do, is what we don't want to think about. And so, because we don't want to think about decision, our brain just, put it out of the memory. You may remember from yourself that there are a lot of tasks that are, you spend 5 minutes to do them, but you just erase them from your memory because you don't want to think about them. Do you remember such kind of tasks? Yeah, do you remember? And the starting point is to do something with this. If you make a decision and if you have simplify tasks, then you will make them even if you don't have the essential to-do list. So, but the first idea is just to simplify things in planning stage, and then again, if you put them to do list if you want, but just if you not, start with this stuff. And work of timers, because again, we need to work, we need some triggers to start working. And to start working, Pomodoro technique is a very good idea. Just not 25 minutes. Use such amount of time that it feels okay for you. So if you at the start of the day and you have lots of energy, maybe it will be 50 minutes. But and if it's the end of the day and you have low energy, maybe it's just 10 minutes. But still, try make it about. So this is a habit that I want you try to implement and how to implement them. Yeah, the goal, the starting point, is to answer people message the next day after they ask. So this is the goal of our starting point. Yeah. Why? Why?
Because they stop all my progress in the research.
Because yes, your supervisor is.
Because supervisor, his secretary,
Mm-hmm.
supervision, all this list all of Skaltech management and procurement, or how to say it,
Yeah.
make покупки, ask for the next day. Everybody.
Yeah. There are different jobs in our world, and there are some people whose job is to communicate with people and to make their life easier. So the secretary's job is to make their life easier. So you are rightful to hate them because their job to answer you. But our job is not related to people exactly. If one day, usually, it's less than one day. Usually, you someone asks you something for example, in the evening, and you can answer him in the morning. It's not a long time usually. Uh, Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is that you just you can be flexible. You can see that okay, a man asked me, so this sounds like immediate problem. So may I ask him now? But for majority of the task, it's okay to delay them. Yeah. What again?
You trying to make.
Yeah, I suggest you try these habits. Yeah.
But yes, actually, what's the main goal?
Okay.
Like motivation. What if I do it or not? What's the
Okay.
benefits of it?
Okay. Why I want? Okay. You think about the goal about this task, or about why is the first level of your whole system?
Just why is it important?
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. Let's me. I still don't get it exactly, so let me tell in different ways, and you'll see uh, what is will it answer you or not. Okay. At first, why why answering people the next day after it has some advantage for you, because well, people are you often ask you something, and you need to, when they ask you something, you need to, well, answer it. You need to have such a short, you need to think, you need to understand what to do, and remember about fast and slow thinking. They, people, when they ask you, they don't know, are you in deep work now, are you tired now, are you just in your work now, and so on. They just, go straight ahead to your head. So if you have a delay and answer them tomorrow morning, uh, you will know that you have enough time to think, and they are not rushing your routine, because I'm programmer. Well, at a part of my life I'm a programmer, and maybe some memes about don't distract programmer because they have lots of concepts in their minds, and all of you are scientists, so there are some times that you have concept in your minds and you need to think. Yeah. And the goal of productivity is one of the goals is to increase this focus time. And every context switch, if you need to answer, if you need to decide how to answer now, this context switch ruin all this focus. It's ruined it. You have about, there are some research that says that you have about 10 or to 20 minutes to return to this focus stage. So the idea why it's benefit for you, it's to be focused more time, and at one hand, and another hand, you you need have time to decide. It you maybe remember from the first lecture that uh, um, when we have a preparations time, we spend less willpower, and so you spend less willpower by just make this time delay. Uh, also, for example, I well, uh, I found an event yesterday about I found an event, and yes, this event, as always, events has constant time and date when it will be. So event is interesting. So my first goal is just to enter this event, but if I enter this event now, I add obligation to come there. But what if I will rethink in 5 minutes? What if I rethink in an hour? Uh, well, better. But if I don't have inbox, I need to decide in this time, because other, yeah, I forget. So I put into inbox and I write it to the, and I choose. I can see calendar and I can choose the days after. Okay, this is this hand. Another hand is more contradictory, but why sometimes it is better for the other side to the delay. Not always, because you have such a supervisor you want to answer, but not always. Uh, but sometimes, people when they write they need be sure that you think about your answer, and they need to be sure that you then done your best. So if they're writing you while you're in a gym, you don't have enough thoughts, enough strength to do your best to the answers. But if you have a delay, if you think a bit, you will have a more, you will give them a more individual, more thoughtful answer. For example, I have a friend. He was asking me about, do I know some not taking GTDs? And maybe yes, maybe not. And if I need to answer him right now, I say, I don't know. I just don't care. Sorry, I have this course all this day, all this week. I just can't find with you. And it will be an immediate answer. But I tell him, okay, I'll think is it okay to write him the next week? He tell, yeah, sure, it's okay. But in the next week, I will have this mindset. I will have the time just to research and answer him the best as I want. So sometimes it is, well, lots of times it is best for other side too. But also it is good for as a starting point. Why it is good for the starting point? Because you need to have a lot of habits. You need a habit of planning. You need a habit of looking at the time box. You need to habit of creating inbox, and also need to habit not habit. You need ability of simplifying tasks. And this is all. These habits are there are too many just too many. Uh, but we are people we live in society, and we really don't like to be unanswered. We really don't like when someone count of us and we are not. We just put it away. And this stage uh, uses spice. This stage use our motivation to answer people. And if you use the stage, you will always make your inbox. You will always process your inbox. You will have this planning stage habit. This is essential for everything else.
Okay, about a little bit
Yeah.
negotiation, uh, about the disturbance or how to say like let some people with their messages interrupt your focus
Yeah.
switch, but actually we have like not disturbance mode, like like no notification or something else. So why you when you're working you can just turn on this mode and that's all.
Yeah.
And when you have a time like turn off it and just answer.
Yeah. Yeah. You can, but well, when you are not, if you again, if it's not urgent, if it's urgent, okay. But if not urgent, when you're answering after work, you're still working and you are not relaxing. The time after work is scheduled for relax. Окей, was I enough, how it's called, убедительный to, how called убедительный in English, you know, who knows? What, how? Persuasive. Okay, was I enough, thank you, was I enough persuading to try this routine for you? Okay, for some of you.
But I think this is too difficult because sometimes your friends wanted to make some meeting and this is urgent. Maybe some boss call you and this urgent. Your team lead or something else.
Yeah, sometimes it's urgent. Yeah, but we'll do it. Think about this. Yeah, it's not only one slide. We will stack on this term for a little bit and think about what is urgent uh, next. Okay. So yeah. Uh, yeah. Tax. Yeah. Okay. Practice time. Now you see some drawbacks. You see some things that can ruin the stuff. So try to think it more precisely. Try to for now to uh, uh, focus on this primordial tactics, on this primordial stage. Try to think firstly what can disrupt you, why you cannot follow the idea of putting this to inbox and then playing the next day. And yeah, for now, please write down the ideas why what can distract you. I will give you 5 minutes for things that can yeah at least less than 5 minutes, but still try write down what can go wrong. Write down what can go wrong. Okay, your friend invite you right now. Uh,
Okay. For example, like your friend calling you, not calling, okay, just send a message in
yeah,
short and in Telegram, and you have a notification that person A sent a message.
yeah,
And to make a decision, is it urgent or not, you have to open this
yeah,
chat, see what he's writing, and sometimes he writing not in a single message, just a whole, like a bunch
yeah,
of
yeah,
messages. So, and you have to read them, make
Well, yes, this is yeah, you want something to do?
In this case, you can think that all everything is conversion except like if there's a friend, if it's urgent, call on the phone. Make your yeah, I see. Friend and everything else you're sending.
Yeah, well, this is one stuff, but another stuff that well, there are a lot of urgent stuff, urgent ideas, but there are very little urgent ideas that can't wait for a half an hour. So yeah, returning to your idea of focus time and then decision, you can turn off your notifications. You can see what these 10 messages he wrote during this time period.
I see. I see.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then you have only one decision: is it urgent or not? So try to now to write down what can interrupt you, what not what can interrupt, what why it will be difficult to follow this hand, why it will be difficult to put uh, uh, people messages to inbox. For example, it might be difficult because well, people accept you to answer. It's one of the idea why it may be difficult. Maybe you have one more. Maybe another idea that you don't understand is it original not based on messages. So try to think about in this stage, in this path. Now you are trying to understand drawbacks of my idea that I suggest you. What will go wrong? Why it is rubbish? Why it is just I don't know a crazy man who suggests you something unbelievable and it's never works. So try to see those drawbacks and we will work with them. Okay. Do you need more time? Okay, your drawbacks. What do you find? What will go wrong?
For me, just opposite. Because actually, this the whole process it's a habit.
Yeah.
Right? But actually, I have another like opposite habit.
What is?
Like if some guy wrote some message for you,
Yeah.
and you just um, like answering right now, and
Yeah.
this is a habit.
Yes, this is a habit.
And firstly, I have to delete this previous habit and make a new. And this like
Okay.
it's very trivial.
Okay, well, this is a part when we are. Part why you are why you are answering the person just after he writes something.
Because I really want to. Then I write some message from another guy.
Yeah.
I really wanted to receive answer right now.
Okay. So well. No, there are different types of messages. I have a girlfriend. She's the best girlfriend ever, like every girlfriend you have. And when she write me something, obviously I don't want to answer her in a week, in a day. I want to answer her now because, well, we are just chatting. But sometimes she asks me not just she not telling me Antonio is a beautiful and the cleverest man in the world. Sometimes she tell me something, Anton, let's go in the next Friday somewhere. And then uh, obviously I want to go with her, but maybe I have something in the calendar, or maybe I need time to just to think what is the event, and these messages I put away.
Ah, okay. So, okay, yes, I understand that. You separate the messages on the, like, if they just chatting or it just some another category. I don't know how name it. Like some
Some
questions,
action.
difficult questions,
Yeah.
and they taking the time to think.
Yeah, great. Yeah, yeah. We were talking about the productivity is a lot. Rest is one part of productivity, but still, chatting is about resting. So we are not talking about how to chat the most responsible way. We are talking about what to do with other stuff. That most of them are actionable. Yeah.
What is the problem with planning on answering the question of the messages?
Yeah. Again, sorry.
No, what was the just question?
The question what I ask you to think about, well, I suggest you a procedure. I suggest my procedure for you is the following. Uh, where it is, ask for people message the next day after they ask. So this procedure has some drawbacks. There is some reason why it is maybe difficult. So the question is why. So we will now we will talk about why it's difficult and maybe find an alternative solution for all the difficulties.
Maybe we have only two types of messages. First type of messages go to our work email.
Mm-hmm.
Another type of messages go to Telegram and other social media. And our social media must be without
Mm-hmm.
notification.
Mm-hmm.
Static email must be with notification.
Well,
And if we have static email with notification, we always see the messages and we answer these messages at the same time.
mm-hmm.
Because if I will not answer to my supervisor, he will kill me, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He will not tell me where it works.
Mm-hmm.
But if my girlfriend, friend tells me something, I'm busy.
Yeah, yeah, this is an interesting idea.
Once I will see it, and in this case, my social media is like inbox. I open it and I see missed.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, this interesting idea that there are different type of people and different messages to send. For one message from supervisor and another from girlfriend or friend. But the problem it is, but the problem is these categories are not well strict. Well, from supervisor, okay, it's a very rare idea that your supervisor will just chat with you if you. Well, it will be cool. It will be cool supervisor, but my supervisor just chat with you. My supervisor work with sent me some working ideas. But as I tell as example, my girlfriend can just chat with me, or she can ask me some tasks that I need to think about. So, in other hand, and friends can ask me. For example, my friend is also my colleague, so he can tell me something. Just send me a meme, or he can ask me something at work, and this will go all in one chat. Uh, And but another point that you tell what I want to focus. You tell that your supervisor will kill you if you don't answer immediately. And no, well, you don't imagine how many people are okay with some delay. People we will tell about procrastination. Well, I think we will not tell about procrastination, but I will send you a big scheme about procrastination. But why people are why people hate when they are not answering in general? First case, in your case, when you just have a work and it stopped. But as a case, why, for example, why they hate? Because they are not sure that you will answer. And uh, the first case, it exists. You see it. There exists stuff when it's really urgent and you need to answer. But for a lot of stuff, it's very very okay to answer tomorrow, for example. And going from there, let's go show this stuff. Today, just before I go into this lecture, my supervisor tell Anton, please, let's see this. I need you to create a message for our Chinese colleagues, and I tell, okay, is it okay to do it tomorrow? He tell, yeah, sure, and you will be no. It's really a lot of messages that's okay. That is not so urgent as you expected. So what I want you to try is to first you need to understand somehow is it really urgent or not. The best idea of how to understand is it urgent or not. Well, if you're not sure, just to ask, is it okay to write it tomorrow? Sometimes I write this message and people say, no, I need it now, and then okay, well, I can't do anything if I need it now. But in 99% of cases, I say, okay, yeah, sure. And maybe if your supervisor don't just stop you and but ask, okay, yeah, Alexei, is it good to tell you tomorrow? Maybe you will not be so angry on him. So first, just train to ask is it okay to break tomorrow. Second, you can separate writing and answer and sending it. Well, this reminder is not for you right now, but still, you know, I'm really hating of answering people because, well, at least people who are not responsible, who are dependent on my supervisor, my colleagues, well, education office, and so on, because everything can go wrong. And I don't like this idea of lack of control. I don't understand, is it my message okay or not? This is why, for me, sending messages are really frustrating stuff, and this is why I'm not sending messages. It was bad. It was not bad. I was procrastinating with sending messages. Do you have sometimes when you procrastinate with sending messages, please? Yeah, with sending messages. Yeah, you need something to write, but you procrastinate with it. A bunch of you, yeah. You just can't write it. You can sit and write.
No, that you must send something, but you just what I should say.
Yeah.
Just always delay.
Yeah.
I will do it. For example, on the next hour. Next hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you again.
Yeah. Yeah. My discover was that in vast majority of this stuff, and it's hard to me. The hard part is not to write the message. The hard part is to send the message. Because when I start writing, it's just letters, and I can write it and I can delay it, and it's all in my control. I can ask ChatGPT, okay, ChatGPT, is it okay? Or you can write it. So while I'm just writing and while I'm not sending, I procrastinate sometimes, but it is it's more and more controllable. It's less and less reason for procrastinate for me. And then when I already write the message, I need to send it. This is much simpler. This is much simpler because I already have this text. Sometimes I put a message to postpone the message in Telegram, and then say for myself, okay, if to the time when this time come in Telegram, I will rethink. I think that I don't want to send this message. I just cancel this message. And there was some times that I do it, but usually I say that it's okay for me. So you might not trust me on my words, but you can just check. You can make an experiment and try to separate the writing message and sending it, and you will see that you will procrastinate much lesser, because you just on the all while you're writing just on under control. Well, this is the second idea why postponing is good, and no, yeah. And now we have practice. Yeah. Well, additional benefit of this postponing technique, when when I write something to people and I need a delay. So sometimes there are two delays for very important message. Delay before I understand that I need to write, and when I start writing, a delay before I write to sending. No, I don't know how, by the way, there is something in English, but in Russian, it's the word переспать с проблемой, и утро вечера мудренее, and so on and so forth. So this is all about that if you have the answer but you have a delay, this is good. And the additional benefit is if it's important message, it's just you can just save it for later. For example, well, before I have this my girlfriend, this is the best girlfriend of the world, and so on and so forth. I need to create an anket in dating app, and it's some text, and so I save it from one dating app, and I just can make the same text on us dating app because this text is with me. Well, okay, practice. First practice, yeah. Practice is the following. So, what I want to do, obviously I can't ask you to trust my word completely, but I really ask you to try for at least a couple of days, even if the scheme is not working for you. Well, for 2 messages, your friends will not be angry of you if you just tell that 2 days I am doing something like this. But I hope that you will try for a couple of days or at least for a week, and then decide is it a good scheme for you or not. But to try, we need a setup. Use the most relevant message for you. I think it's Telegram, yeah, or maybe it may be WhatsApp, it may be VK. So use the most recent message for you, but not if it's a Telegram. Okay, for someone, it's Telegram for all. You all use Telegram, yeah. So okay, let's speak in the Telegram example. Don't use Telegram, but don't use saved messages. There are saved messages are really good stuff for save times. But for example, sorry. But idea of processing inbox is to clean inbox every time you go for it. So you need some areas that you can send messages, and then you can delete while you're cleaning it. So make a new group in Telegram, a new chat, or a new bot if you are a programmer. So do it now, please. Make a new chat for your a new chat, a new bot, a new group.
Inbox messages?
Yeah, for inbox.
Okay, but
If you have task manager, if you have task manager, I still suggest you to make an inbox if you are chatting in Telegram a lot, if you have receiving in Telegram some ideas a lot, because it's just easier to forward than to rewrite it in chat. But if Telegram is really just for chatting, then it's okay to make it just Telegram messages. So please create in Telegram this new chat or new bot, a new group. Please do it now. Yes, the idea of
activate message in this notification section.
Yeah. Well, not delaying, just send it. Just send it. Yeah, so you can just forward it and just send it. Yeah. Yeah. So why I ask Telegram? Because, well, you can use to-do manager if you use to-do manager, but I find that a lot of I underestimate the number of things that come to me through Telegram. I'm underestimate of number of tasks that my friends and my girlfriend ask me to do, and well, interesting channels. And forward this message is really quicker than to copy it and paste to task manager. So please make it Telegram. If you use VK, also you can make a group. I have a personal private group in VK and send messages to my VK also. Well, if you use WhatsApp, Viber, or WeChat, then, well, I don't know what to do with this, but you can do something like this also. If you use ICQ, then I'm proud of you. You are the best man, because I forget my ICQ number about 20 years ago.
Don't need the productivity tools.
Yeah.
They already understand their lives fully.
Yeah, so are you ready? Do you create this Telegram chat? Yeah, you create it? Amba, you create Telegram chat? Okay, now we will have a simple playful practice. I want you, you all in one Telegram chat. I want you to choose a few minutes from this chat and ask them to do anything, and you need to respond to that. Okay, I will do it tomorrow. Just it. So, for example, German C go for private message to me and say, Anton, I want you to play with my dog tomorrow morning. And I'll answer him, well, okay, I get it, can I tell you tomorrow what I'll do? Something like this. Okay, you see? So just to repeat, just to see, is it okay for you to answer like this? Just to see, is it okay you to hear this answer? So we have this habit repetition. You saw from first lesson that habits can be that you can repeat your habits, and so okay. You understand that task? Yeah. No, you just choose any one of us and give him. No, we several people just while. No, well, it's just a playful task. You can choose firstly one, then if you're right, choose the second one, and the goal is just imagine any task you want. For example, you can ask Nastya, is it okay to play, for example, Portal game in the next week? Or you can ask Alexei, is it okay? Can you give me a presentation of the last lecture? And so everything, it may be task with some deadline, maybe task without deadline. So feel free, but the answer must be as answered. You need to put this to inbox when you receive some message, and then you may ask person who sent it, is it okay to answer him tomorrow? Okay, right, Alexei, I'll do it in for you. I'll do it for you. Алексей, это Алексей, да? Или... нет, сейчас. Или Иван, сейчас. Как тебя зовут, напомни?
Меня?
Да. Артем, господи, sorry. Окей, Артем. Let's... this is practice. So, how was practice for you? Was it okay to write that you will answer tomorrow or something like this? Yeah. Was it okay to hear it? Was it okay to see that? Okay, I am halted, but I will done tomorrow. Accept and how it's was okay. Okay, so yeah, this is quite counterintuitive. We from our culture we know that we need to answer immediately and so on and so it is a bit contradictory. But I'll hope that you will plan. So what's the procedure? Let me clarify the procedure from the first stage of your productivity. Where we come from? First, you receive the message. You put this message to inbox, and answer, may I answer tomorrow? Well, it's often then this conversation going in group chat, and even though no one receives wait for your answer, but if you think that the answer is receiving, you can ask something like this. Then you proceed to the inbox. When you have inbox proceed, it's your planning stage. You clear all the inbox and write all messages. You write all messages and put them as in Telegram you put them as postponed. Yeah, you postpone them on time.
More messages after that. This, if you get one message and it suddenly appears, it might.
Sorry, I don't understand. While Abba is absent, can you reformulate in Russian?
Короче, если дальше чат продолжается, вы о чем-то другом говорите, потом вдруг вылезает какое-то сообщение сложное,
Да, yeah. Well, about postponed messages, it's not the sometimes if for most cases you can put these messages right away. You write it, you send it. But for messages that are more complicated, we were talking about procrastination stage, that sometimes writing this message is procrastinated. For these messages, it's a good practice to write them and make them postponed, because you will have a time to rethink what you want to answer, or to cancel this message if you're really afraid of it. So for a simple message, you can just write it there and send it. For harder messages, maybe respond, or also you can postpone not to person, you can postpone for yourself with messages. So just remind yourself, because my planning stage is about, and after I wake up at about 8 a.m. and the messages about work, I don't like to send much work before 10 a.m. So I postponed it just because I need a working time. So this playtime was over. Please, now I want you to clean all this inbox that you have, because you will receive a message after you clean this box. And please clean this inbox that you have, and now you will have a message. Just a moment. Okay. Boom. You have a message. And we will not stop on it. Just put to inbox. I don't need any answer. Put into inbox and analyze it later. Put it to inbox. Make this working later. Okay, practice not done. Again, so this is a starting point when I suggest you to start productivity. Guys, please put the inbox and don't look at this. Put eyes on me. Put into inbox and eyes on me. So you see why this inbox is important, because I can send message whatever. I think it is the ideal time, but you can be on lecture, for example, and if you look at the phone, you're losing this mind. You're losing what I am telling. Right now, not, because it was me who sent this message. But usually you need at least to read it and to understand is it for you or not, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I really will be happy if you try this procedure for a couple of days, for a week, and then understand is it okay for you or not. Maybe it will be okay, but not completely, and you understand how to proceed. But let's go further. As task types, well, we have some tasks that are not matching the schemes that are not can be simplifying. First of these are energy or time-consuming tasks, or the tasks that you need. The first step is so bad that you don't want to do it, and there are two ideas how to solve them. Firstly, reflections. Maybe they are not consuming. Well, for example, Genentech. Genentech, this is the idea when you send the genome, they make your personal genotypes of this company. And in October I decided that I want to try because in my life I have a course of bioinformatics, and so I'm interested in it. And I need to go to the office not to pay a lot of money to the courier. And the office was in another part of Moscow, and there it was a time-consuming task. But then I understand that I will be in friend, have meeting with friend nearby, and I can go after this meeting. And so immediately it's become not time-consuming. I found how to simplify it. This is one thing. And another thing that we will mention in the very first lecture is implementation intention. Implementation intention is the idea of when something happened, I do something. This idea is really similar to habit. You can see that when trigger happened, I do something, but implementation idea is somehow a single line habit. It's somehow that you decide something to do only once. If you ever decide that if the evening I will go to, for example, I will clean my house and you clean it, it's implementation intention. And there is a research that tells that there was students that have holidays and they was asked and they need to have some task, and for control group they just get this task, and for another group they have they need to formulate when and how they will start, and for the second group the probability of doing it increased well at least as I remember 3 times, at least 3 times, and it's a really increased probability. So implementation intention is an idea when all this stuff with simplification don't work, try implementation intention, but make them few, because when you have a lot of implementation intention, if you have a lot of deadlines, you fail a lot, and then you will, and it is bad for you. So presumption of guilt, if try to formulate without this implementation intention, if only you see that this task is procrastinated for a lot of time and you really need to focus on it, try implementation intention. Creativity. Creativity is another task that is out of the box, out of our focus, because all our focus is to decide what to do and then do, and creativity is all about to decide what to do. So it is also out of the box, out of it. So what do you need to be creative? You need to rest. You need to put somewhere your ideas, the inbox, you know already. But also you need illnesses. In Russian, it's безделье. You need some time that you are not doing anything, especially not doing social media stuff. Just walk, just think, just take a shower. You absolutely sure know that you are taking shower. You have some ideas that are really creative and really go make your creative task. So you see, you know the shower effect, yeah? That in shower, if you think about it, something just arise. Or now, because we are in 2025, you can ask ChatGPT what he will think about task, Obviously, this machine is not much for humans, but sometimes he will either tell you the answer or tell some the completely bullshit, and you will see why, and you will think why this bullshit is not responsible for me, why I don't like this idea, and you can take this bullshit idea and understand why you don't like it, and based on it, creativity will arise in a good position. How to combine this creativity, task, and planning is complicated stuff because creativity has no guarantees. But well, you can plan a walk, for example, and you'll see that when I will walk, I will think about this stuff. And now, we have practice. We will have a break, but not usual break. We will have at least 2 breaks. At first, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Please, I'll ask you to leave your smartphone there. So I will there, so no one stalls. I ask you for 5 minutes, go away and go to just walk the Skolzech, not chatting with each other, but just think about anything you want to think. If you don't want to think about anything, think about this lecture. So just try to feel this time when your mind is open to everything. So this will be the first 5 minutes, then return, and you will have a simple break with smartphone, so on and so forth. Just please leave your smartphone there for at least 5 minutes. Go make a circle, but don't discuss with each other, and return and see is there new ideas about anything. You just, for example, if you have a project, you can think about this project. If you have nothing project, think about this creativity, productivity stuff. So for 5 minutes, please try to just think, not to chat, to think about what you learned or what about your project, and then return, and you will have a regular break. Yeah, about 5 minutes. Да, то есть, да, это идея, что тебе надо, чтобы ты не занимался ничем, и у тебя был этот эффект безделия такой. Это... ну, в смысле, с чего начать, если не знаете, с чего начать, то можете спросить чат GPT, и как бы он либо скажет, с чего начать, либо он скажет такой отстой, что ты поймешь, вот это вот отстой, и ты начнешь думать, почему это отстой, начнешь думать, почему тебе это не нравится, и придешь к чему-нибудь. То есть, как бы, чтобы избавиться от страха чистого листа. Вот. Идея, ну, скорее всего, просто мало времени, и, может быть, не тот майндсет. Но сама идея, когда ты просто не гуляешь, когда ты сидишь в душе, когда ты просто ничего не думаешь, оно, ну, помогает.
Когда ты ходишь, у тебя термокара начинает работать.
Ну, в смысле, да, есть дополнительная штука, как я понимаю, отмена отхождения, да, но вот есть идея про не свежий воздух, есть идея наблюдения природы. Это как бы да, но при этом даже не... При этом, кстати, иллюстрации к природе я видел в исследовании, что когда ты просто видишь экран, на которых нарисована природа, это работает, ну, я не уверен, что так, не помню, так же или нет, но тоже работает. Вот такие вот я читал исследования. Ну да, идея про вот эту именно формате безделья, это в первую очередь я подчеркнул Аси Казанцевой, признанная Российской Федерацией исполняющей самого иностранного агента или что-то такое, не помню. Ну, короче, Ася Казанцева это рассказывала, когда она еще не была самым исполняющим роль агента. А там, по-моему, нет федерального закона. Там, по-моему, нет федерального, но там не написано федеральный закон в этой плашке. Окей, так, я позову тогда Юсуфа и... Oh, yeah, come in. Okay, let's continue. We'll have 20 minutes to continue. So, does anyone of you have any ideas during this 5 minutes short work. So yeah, as I understand, there is not many ideas, but well, I have an idea. During this break, I have a time to rest, and one of you asked me why I know Pasha, who asked me about. Yeah, you asked me, and when I receive, I really don't understand who is Pasha is, but I have this time to relax. I see that I now understand this Pasha, but I put it in box and tell you how long I know him when I will proceed in box. But still, this time of rest give me a time to widen my ideas, understand about what Pasha you're talking about. Okay, well, maybe 5 minutes not enough, but I hope that at least every one of you have the in your everyday life idea when you go to shower and you go to a walk and your mind is not complete with music, that you have creative stuff. Let's go to goals, and goals will be the last things that I hope we will uh, um, proceed. I hope we can proceed it now. There are lots of goal settings. The most famous one called SMART, specific measurement, achievement related, time bounded. Whoever in his life plan goal settings in SMART technique? Me neither. Let's make practice. Practice for really a few minutes, and it's a strictly practice. Design one of your dream and try to put it as goal setting, as SMART technique. You will see a tricky part of this goal idea. Use one of your dream, think about one of your dream and try to make it specific, measurable, so it must be concrete, it may be time bound, it may be achievable, so make it concrete. Try to do it for a few minutes and you will see what happened wrong. So try to understand, just try to see one of your dreams. Try to make it specific. So if I don't know, if I would want to go, for example, for Hawaii somewhere, I need to make it specific. So when I will go to Hawaii, in what place I will go to Hawaii, in what section, in what time of the year, and so on. And I need to understand how many money I need to have to go to Hawaii. Okay. Well, we'll have for half a minute. We'll not wait all this time because this is just because we are running out of time, but also because I want you to focus on one thing. And things I want to. Where is German? German is okay. Yeah, a guy here. One guy is absent. German. I think I own. Okay. Well. Okay. Who finishes? Who makes this? The question: what is about motivation? What is you more inspired of your first dream or on this goal setting? Think what it was inspiring of you. What really drive your dream or the goal that are specific, measurable, achievement, and time bound. Dream, yeah. For everyone, it's dream. It is dream. This is why. This is because goals are overrated. Goal setting are overrated. It does not mean that you don't need a goal setting at all, but it means that if thank you. But it means that in a lot of productivity books, there you will find that you need to start productivity by setting your goals. You need to start without the goal settings, you can be productive at all. Well, I think it's wrong idea. Goal setting are overrated, and there are several problems, and I will want to tell you about them. First is about external motivation. We talk about internal and external motivation, and we remember, and I tell when I was talking about internal motivation that internal motivation is more rigid, it's more stable, and it's much more it's saved for longer time. And external motivation, it's concrete, but it is turbulence and it can be vanish. And when you put goals, you move motivation, shift motivation from internal to external one. So this is one problem of goal setting. The second problem, you narrow the direction and you don't think about future. Again, I remember about this Eevee and these ideas how Eevee can evolve into Pokemon evolution. When you have goal, when you have goals that is really not goal for next week, but when you have goal for 10 years, goals are narrow thinking, and you see how you try to find how to achieve this goal, but you don't know about any other directions. For example, today I am, last half a year, I am thinking about postdoctoral degree in China, and I remember that I know that there are some opportunities. My sister lives in Zurich, and she always told me that, Anton, maybe you will research Zurich opportunities in Switzerland. And I tell yes, but because I focus on China, I don't really think about other opportunities. And this is the second problem of goal settings. You just stack on it. You don't understand that there are a variety of things. And the problem, the final problem of goal settings, that you can't remove all the tasks you have now. We are not the empty sheet of paper. We all have the tasks that already are on us. Obviously, some of the tasks are not essential for us. For some tasks, you can rethink and understand, okay, I will not do it. For some of tasks, I will think, you can think and tell and say, okay, I'll do this part, but not everything else. But for every task, you need to think something. And this is very hard when you don't understand what your task is. So while your tasks are just in your head in some way, while you are not have your task in to-do list, and while you not have this planning stage when you can think and decide, do I really need this task? You can't just leave one of them, but you try to push yourself even harder in your goals, in the direction of goals. So it's not simplify your life, it's only make your life bigger, and it's only make your life harder. And to make your life harder is around start to make productivity. And return to the GTD. GTD told that if the ship is going down, it doesn't matter the direction it pointed. So goal setting is really interesting stuff. Soon, next slide, we will talk about how it can work, but it is not when you want to start. Do you have any questions about these 3 points why I think the goal setting is a wrong start for your productivity?
I
Yeah.
have a goal about the big, comfortable house in my own land.
Yeah.
How it could be long.
Okay. What house do you want?
Comfortable, big, own house on own land.
Yeah, because at first this is the bigger you can future, the less concrete goals should be, and your goal is not really too concrete, so it is more or less okay. It is much better than if you say that I need to 2-floor house in Arbat Street. So just to have just the idea of big house is better. It's but still, what is can be wrong? If you see that, let's go to the problems. At first, let's go think about external motivation.
No,
Uh,
it's internal motivation. I want my own house.
yeah, you no, if it's external motivation because it's you motivated for something external, for something in our daily life. So you mean this first lesson, first lecture, you can revise it. In psychology, there are multiple ideas of motivation, but one of the main is the theory of some self-determination. It tells that there are four internal motivation: mastery, to be better than yourself; unity, to be with other; autonomy, to make what you want; and creativity, childness, to make just to play a little bit. Well, you can write the first lecture, or you can read the book called "Мотивация достижений" by Гордеева. So because it was in first lecture, I'm sorry. It's wrong.
Hey. No.
Yeah. Well,
Why?
we are yeah. As Maslow pyramid. Okay, it's good, but not always, because it will be it's do you know pyramid of Maslow? Pyramid Maslow. Yeah. It is. Yeah. No, the Maslow pyramid tells that there are some concrete motivation ideas how to, and each lay on other, and well, it works sometimes. But first, I heard, I don't have the concrete research, but I heard that Maslow itself says that it's wrong in some of his later works. But if it will work every time, we'll never have such a kind of people as no, how, I don't know how to translate it in English. Sorry, how it's called. Голодные художники. Arts of that hungry arts. I don't know. Is this some idea in English? But in Russia, you saw the голодные художники. It's people who want to make some art, but they don't have something to eat. If Maslow pyramid will always right, there will not be such category of people. But sometimes it's okay. But about external house, if you are working about, if all you think is just a house, then well, you have less joyful from scientific work because you don't like the scientific work itself. You like it only just because it is a place to your goal. For example, if you have this house, if your goal is house, then someone tell you, okay, Misha, I will give you not house but a flat with 5 floors somewhere, and you see it's not house, I will not go there.
Make it rent.
Yeah, and if you go to house, then okay, what to do with current tasks? What to do with current tasks? You need to rethink, understand what to do with tasks. Goal setting is okay, but it's not a good starting point. Goal setting is overrated. So, but if you I will come again. If you visit the first lecture, you will. If you not visit, if you see the presentation, your presentation is available for you. You can see one of the books that entire book about motivation. So it's Russian. It's written in Russian. So I really suggest you to read if you're interested in motivation stuff. There are other goal setting ideas. Dream life dump. It's opposite of smart. It's dream driven, upfalling, method friendly, behavior driven. For example, the dump goal setting will be I want the best dancers in Russia, for example. This is something inspiring like this. There are packed this stuff, and there are nice that is focused on process. So there are a lot of ways of frameworks. But besides these frameworks, what to do in general? It's to have a short-term goals and to have long-term directions of tensions. So when Mikhail ask about this house example. Well, I mentioned that this is not really concrete goal, but this is somewhere between concrete goal and direction of, okay, I want to live in a good place. So, and the longer is time, the less concrete goal must be. There are tricky questions. Do you want to achieve one goal in your life or many? Well, I can't answer it because if you achieve one, also the narrow specialists are always have more deep ideas, but there are some disciplinary connections that are also good for you. So it's just an idea. What else about goals? Yeah, we are running out of time, but we still have 4 minutes. First, think about goal. If you really want to make it, as a habit, if you really want to make it more regularly, you can try mastermind group. Mastermind group is an idea that you with a few of other people that are, well, not your friends, but the people who are driving the same idea. You meet for once in a month or once for 2 months and just discuss how your goal setting is going and what is problems and what decision and so on and so forth. And I never was mastermind group, but the people who take it, they always say that this is a good idea, just time consuming. Mastermind group. The second idea of goal, you can use, well, ladder of goals, лестница целей. For example, this course was arriving firstly, for example, 3 years ago, when I just started GTD technique, I had a lecture about GTD specifically with my friend. And when I had this lecture, I don't think that I will go to a full course. Then I will start my blog, and when I start my blog, I subscribe it and so on and so forth. When I start my blog, I don't think about this whole course. Now I'm thinking about this course, but I don't think that about how it's transformed. For example, maybe every blog have marathons and so on. Maybe I sometimes do something like this, but now my goal is just this course. So this is the lecture goals. So you achieve one goal and then you stand on it and see where it's come, what opportunities are here for you now. About priorities, priorities are really connected to goals because, well, you put what you want to do and so you prioritize things. And one of you, I don't remember what, this was anonymous, so I don't know who of you asked about priorities in the tuning form. And in the priorities, there are two stuff. One is, well, concrete and this simple, and another is not so straightforward, and another idea is not so intuitive. Priorities about sensitive priorities, but also priorities about getting rid of tasks and other goals. Why is important? Why I mention it? Because we have such cognitive bias called I again forget how it's called in English, but in Russian it's called эффект непринятия потерь. Maybe someone of you know how it's called in English. The point is to get rid of something is much more painful for us than make something. This is why I always tell you that your system needs to not allow failure, because failures are really painful. So and priorities is not only about, and goal setting not about only what to do, but also what you don't want to do. And this is painful, and this requires reflection, and this is hard. This is hard, so don't start with it. If you want to set priorities, you can make, well, I have the matrix 1 to 1, 3, 5 goals for a week, 3 priorities for a month, and so on and so forth. But also, if you really want to prioritize things, you need to pay additional attention of how to get rid of anything of the tasks. About 5 minutes, and we will finish. About 5 minutes. And getting rid of tasks are really hard stuff. There is something that can help you. For example, well, if you start the task but you don't, you need to finish it. You may not finish it completely, but well, find some substitution. For example, when I am playing a game and this game is really start to broke my routine, I watch in YouTube the end of the game, and so I spoil it, and my brain thinks that I finished this game because just I watched on YouTube this last moment. This is a substitution action. You need to have time to cool down. You need to not to put it first, not to go say that I don't do it. You may say that I just think about it wisely. So it's idea of soft ban, not hard ban, soft ban. You may remember it from the first lecture. You may consider in context. This is really useful when someone asks me something. I I obviously I want to do it, but then I think, okay, what task I do usually in this time? If I want, if someone asks me to create a program, I say, okay, but then I think, okay, and what programs I create usually, and do I have time to a new one? So make a broader context, and yeah, make it visible for all time. Will go, yeah. Yeah. When task good thing in what context I will do, and when I and what I'm do usually in my routine in this context is I'm really not about just to do this task, but I am I ready to get rid of another task that will I will not do because I'm doing this task. About perfectionism, it's the same mechanism. Perfectionism is about getting rid of some about something like this. How to implement? We have 3 stages of implementation. First, we mentioned this will be the next lesson, and this is okay. Okay, the level 1 we mentioned, we focus on it. So again, I'll ask you to try it for a couple of days. So try to answer people the next day after. So it's the start point. The level 2 is when you just focus on playing, and I have about another 50 or 20 minutes to describe it, so I will shift it to the next lesson. We will start about level 2 to the next lesson. But the idea of level 2 is just to master all habits that you need to make you productive. Writing inbox, planning, working with next action, and working in flow state. So this is the idea of the next the stage, and you will truly understand what you can do and what you can do when you understand where you are and so on and so forth. So this is we will describe it to the next time. I will send this presentation, but please just miss this stuff. I will describe it. Sure. Yeah, and some task manager. We will stay on this. We will start on this next time. The problems also the next time, and but it's really important because and level 3 choose important only. I suggest you only after you mastering these all habits, only when you in complete sense of all your ideas on all your plans. Only then I suggest you to go to goal settings and to make them to work on it, because you will fail with goal setting sometimes. And if you fail with goal setting at the beginning of the productivity ideas, your productivity just will not rise, because we really don't like to fail anywhere. So we have more habits. Go to the first stage at least in half a year after you start your productivity. About delegation, about procrastination, I will send this a lot of things about procrastination, how procrastinate in the chat. But now Yes, there is this you can also read in the chat. The difference between personal system and corporation. Home task, yeah, and this home task is for you. So first try level 1 productivity for a couple of days. Then put to canvas your impression. As always, put some of your thoughts. You will have a secret task in the Telegram, not now, but it is secret. Sometimes it will arise to you and you will see it's simple. It's not about, well, doing the task itself, it's just about the level 1 productivity. And I remind you, bring laptops and install Obsidian for tomorrow. And I will not say this parable because we don't have time, but it's really interesting. And so, yes, this is all. Thank you for today, and see you tomorrow. Late people than usually. I have two polls for you. I'll ask you to vote on this poll. Just a moment. I sent you two polls. First poll will be this one, and second poll will be. So everyone voted in this poll. Yeah. And second will be this one. Okay, I see that you start thinking, yeah? Okay, leave this poll alone, you, hello? Leave this poll alone, you cannot vote, but this is, metaphoric polls. What's the difference between fast and slow thinking? Because the difference between fast and slow thinking, then when you have a simple idea, something that you can decide just at once, just on your fingers, you may vote and does not think about it at all. But if you have such a long poll with 10 variants and every variant is not really simple, your brain become thinking, and you can, I hope while you're watching, you can reflect all these changes. You can reflect that the first poll and the second poll not just different by numbers, but the different by idea how you look at them. Yeah, you see it from your own heart. You see it? That the first part is not just the second. It's not just a big heart. It's suppose that you have a different level of hardness. Yeah. So if anyone sent you a poll like this or like this while you are doing another stuff, where is more probability you will vote? On this stuff or on this? Yeah, in the first, because first is fast thinking and second is slow thinking. But well, these polls are just for example, but there are a lot of many things that when we have an important idea, an important event, but they formulate it not like this, but like this. And this polls is just to remind you that well, if you have something big and something like this, if you have something like this, you activate slow thinking, and you will not vote to it while you are doing something. But if you put into inbox, you can vote them, because when you just a moment, I'll yeah, because while you're putting this inbox, you proceed this inbox on slow thinking, and you will able to vote even in something dangerous like this. And another idea why I put this example, because well, the difference between the word that you activate convert by fast thinking, and the difference between what you can pose that you activate your slow thinking is not is just quantitative. So only there is two variants, there is 10 variants, there is some words, there are some words, but well, I can't tell you the border. I can tell you that if there will be 5 variants, that it will slow thinking. If it will be 6, if it will be 4, it's fast thinking. If there will be 3 words per variant, it will be fast thinking. If it will be 4 variants, it will be slow thinking. So there is no rigid border between such poll and such poll. And when you formulate then we try to simplify your actions. When you try to simplify your to-dos during your procedures that we talk last lecture and what we will talk now, I can tell you the direction, but I can't tell you the exact algorithm how to make this these potential to do things to work on fast action. How to make them simple enough so you will be not afraid of them. It's every time it's just your feeling, and this feeling and this ability to simplify enough for you is come with practice. So this was what was about. Another example, what we were talking yesterday. Well, why when using inbox? Yesterday, one of you sent me such kind of question. Well, and you know, after speaking 3 hours, you're the wonderful audience, but still speaking 3 hours is really exhausted, and I just don't have enough energy to answer something like about some question like this after the lecture. And if I don't have inbox, I'll just tell, well, I can tell you, ask me tomorrow, or I just Google it for yourself. But instead I have inbox, and I ask, is it okay to write tomorrow? It wasn't so urgent, so it is okay. And tomorrow I have enough strength, I have enough willpower to answer and to tell what to do to answer how it's called, wide enough so this person will understand. But I cannot do it just because I have my inbox and I have the ability to postpone this message. Let's have a look for today. For today, I save some inbox for you. Unfortunately, they're in Russian, but I will translate. And next 5 minutes, I will tell how is my brain thinking while I have while I have some inbox. So for today, I have 22 inboxes, and let's start. So first inbox is to can I do it bigger? No, I can't do it bigger. Well, can I open it there? Just a moment. Sometimes it is not just opening quite recently, but up is okay. Okay, let's wait and just. So the first inbox is to watch statistics of my inbox. You remember it's the stuff that I started the last lecture, and I want to do it regularly. So, well, I just return it in a half of month, for example, and I have an idea called future inbox. As this is just stuff that in half of month it will return to my inbox. It's automatic for me because I wrote some scripts, but well, you can just see that something is coming and move to the inbox explicitly. Next, I need to buy shoes. Well, I don't know. It's a rare idea for me. I don't know how to buy it. So I Google the nearest shoe shop, and then I'll know how to transfer it. And then, well, let's imagine that I Google and I know go to bus 77 and visit quartal TC. And I can do it now. I can't do it now because I'm on lecture. So I make it. I have the context called nearby, near my house. So something I can do every time I'm near my house and put it there. The next inbox I have some idea of where I can go on some event. Well, because I'm on, yeah.
Now, problem with the system is that I have some next action for a big project. I do today and later I will forget what I've done. For example, what I searched or the action goes up. How to work with that?
Sorry, I don't get it quite. If you forget, yeah,
they're all parts of work projects which I don't know all the steps.
yeah.
How to not forget like what do you do, what results you get.
Okay, well, I hope I get it. Let me continue. Let me finish about half a minute. So this stuff I don't want to do now. I will make tomorrow. I will return to it after the course. There is some references that again, I want to go to my reference system. Now let's imagine that I do it. There is some project that I have next action. So I do some stuff, and now I want to understand what's next action. Next action is the wait for another person. So I just tell, wait for Anton. Not me. No, I have another Anton now up. And I just put it to a waiting list. I have a message from Alexei where I already answered, so I just make it done. I have a message from whom? From Artyom, yeah. I already answered him, so I make it done. Well, last time I forgot this stuff while I was accessing, so I sent me a reminder. I made a reminder for myself. Don't forget this stuff after the lecture. So I know where the lecture will end. 19, let's call 11 to 10. And I will make it, well, on the work. Place on work. I have a message about from other guy. I will work with this after the lecture ends. So I put in some future inbox. I have a message from one of you about how inbox working, and I'll answer this message. So I make it done. But also because I put this message, I don't answer it immediately. I have time to think. I see that this message may be a good example of how inbox work, and I put into idea to my inbox. So the idea is ask Anastasia, can I make this as example? So I put it and I ask her immediately while I was answering. So now it's done. There is an idea for today's lecture. You will see it in the slides. Now it's done. Well, there is a project. I'm a student that I want to go with him to experiment, and I need to think how to go to experiment. So we need passes. We need to synchronize our schedule. So there will be two projects. Again, I have some optimization, so I can write it like there. Project number one, ask Maria, ask Kirill when he can be, and then I can write the same idea to Maria when she can be, but now I return to a thing that I tell you Well, I have this. No, this is not working. So now I return to the thing about there is no such a rigid border between fast thinking and slow thinking. And I understand because I know myself for a few years that the task ask Kirill is okay for me. It's simple because well, Kirill is not my colleague. He's a student, and I don't afraid to asking him anything. But Maria, well, we have a good relationship, but still she's an adult woman, so she's my colleague, and just to ask is too tough for me. So even if these tasks are similar for me, they're different. And then I rewrite it and say not ask, but write a text to uh, ask Maria. And then I will see that I will write the text. It will be simple, and then I will have action to send this text. So sometimes this stuff is different. So I put it to projects. Everything else will done automatically because I have some handwritten script. This is an idea that I see yesterday, but I put to today lecture. We will see it. This is an idea about another short course in Skoltech. I maybe will tell about Vim. Who knows about Vim? Who knows what the Vim is? Oh, most of you. Who want to see the lecture how to access the Vim? What? Vim is a text editor. So maybe I will put. Will have a lecture about Vim, but I need to communicate with education. Well, the first action maybe will be to write an education and understand. I need to understand which education I will write. Will be Edu or concrete person. But for now, well, let's say I say that write Adelia. It's the person who responsible for ICP about possibilities. And now this is a project. Also, I have ideas that I need to prolongate my domain of my blog. So I will do it after lectures, and so now I will put it just to future inbox, and they will return to inbox when it eventually ends. Well, I have to natively advert my channel of productivity to your audience tomorrow. So I'll just make it tomorrow, and I say that I will make it in when I will be in this computer, I can do it because I can add my lecture. So this will be tomorrow. Next, I want to understand, do I need any feedback from you? So I will do it tomorrow. Then I will need to remind you that tomorrow the laptops are essential too. I sent you a message about it. And the last one, I have a message from my DM from Dungeons and Dragons game that he want to play with us next Sunday, and I'll just put it to my calendar. So it is only one idea that I put to calendar during all this stuff, because only one of these is related to calendar. So I put it there, D and D. And that's all. Suppose that I will do this one. I will figure out how to do it tomorrow. This is all. My unboxing list is clean. This is how I done it. And let's return to you. So do you I am slow enough for you just to understand a general idea of how I do it. Not exactly each of the task, but general idea. So something I put to think about it in future, just because now this week I'm too busy. Some I put to calendar, but only stick to calendar. Something I simplify, and I need to reflect, is I simply simplified enough? And something I do right now, for example, I answer Anastasia just in the time when I was proceed this inbox in the first place. So this is the general idea how to do it. Again, about let's see it in the presentation. Let's see the presentation. So the first level, yeah.
Clean our inbox.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, there are two questions. So first, I will answer your questions. Please remind what is, and then we go. Remind your question, please.
When you have like a lot of next actions,
Yeah.
you they are all parts of some bigger projects which have many steps which you
Yeah.
can discover. So like how to if you do it like once in a couple of days, how to remember all the new features that, for example, for some projects, the next action to ask somebody something.
Yeah.
How to
How to remember that you need to ask somebody or what?
in general, should you just create the next action that you put it like a new box
Hmm.
that display elements and then sort them subtasks.
Well, okay. I still don't get it exactly, but may I tell somewhere nearby and you tell is it answered your question or not. So what's next actions about? Why project need to have next actions? Just to move them on. So without think about next action at all, the project may just stuck and you will not understand that something is need to be done. So in this case, you don't need to remind how many actions are done per last day. You just need to understand what to do next. Yeah, one idea. Second idea is that, well, usually we remember what we done because just we done it. The third idea that yeah, if you have new information about, well, it may relate to someone you need to ask, or it may relate it just for site you need to visit, or it may relate any information about project. First, you want what is done by you is you put it to inbox, and then while proceeding inbox, you think, is it related to a project? Maybe it is, you may have some reference information, for example, site with idea, similar idea, and it may rise a next action to visit the site, or it may be just a reference for future, and the next action will do something else. Is it answer your question, or it was not? Okay. Okay. So what's your question again? Okay.
Per day, I mean. For example, because I have some tasks
Yeah.
that I remind today, and I have to do it today.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I have 5 tasks,
Yeah.
and I have to finish 3 of them today. If I clean my inbox only on evening, for example, maybe I can forget about it. But actually, if I have some time, I have not I have my internal vision.
Okay, so well, I have just a moment. I have a deep answer to the question, and I have a algorithmic answer to the question. So the deep answer is you need to proceed inbox as in the way you will be confident about it, what it contains. So why we put something to inbox? In two reasons. First one, that you want not to be disturbed from your tasks, and not to be disturbed, you need to be confident that this task will be done on time. And the second is to have a delay to refinish this task. So if you are in deep work and someone put some task that will you knows that you will need to done today, and you put to put it to inbox and be concerned that it's okay, you need to proceed to this inbox uh, uh, a couple of times in a day. On the other hand, sometimes you can proceed it in once of couple days, because you know that there are no urgent tasks, but this is bad for your habit. So at the first, at the level where you are, I suggest you to proceed this to stay on regularity. But yeah, but about algorithm, if you have a lot of tasks to make today, well, for me, I do the following. I put everything that are not for today to a real inbox, and the things I need to do today. Well, actually, they're in inbox, but I mark in my to-do list that I make it today. And then, well, I have a few stress because every time I open my smartphone, I see these today tasks, but still I am sure that I will find them. So for me, when I have this, I put for inbox, just inbox without date, everything that is not urgent, what is not must be done today, and everything that is really urgent, I put to just list of today tasks. Yeah, and so it stands for your questions. Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah. And my and colleague. Yeah. Yes, they will be two tasks, but just automatically. I have some optimization. So when I wrote as a route, my scripts will transform this idea of connecting guys to a project, and first task will be the real task in tick, and the second will be the real task in tick. It just will happen in background. But yeah, it's two actions for me. First is to write the student, and second is to formulate the idea how I want to write to my colleague, because it's, well, exactly in this example, I will honestly write her right away, but for my supervisor, for example, I often formulate it firstly and then send it, because my supervisor is much more how important for me. Okay, well, yeah, let me mark who was absent. Ivan Kakurin, Alexei Kamelin, yeah, and no, Mikhail Limbitsky. He was yesterday, but not today. Okay, let's return. Any other questions about how I do it? Okay, let's return. So again, what I suggest you to start with is two habits. Put to inbox every message you have that somehow relate to information you need to proceed, or some message that you asked for. And proto planning, well, it's the idea when we want to fix your habit plan is to answer all these people while you are proceeding to your inbox, and you clean inbox while you're proceeding. So because your inbox in Telegram, you just can delete this message. Some of you use Singularity, then you just may complete these messages in every to-do list. What is important here is that inbox must be cleaned. This is stuff I don't put your attention yesterday, but this is why I ask you to make separate channel. Well, the cleaning is important to not at first not to be confused of what you proceed and what you not. And second, the cleaning was just feel reliefly, and this relief motivation is important. And yeah, also we have these two habits. These two habits will transform to a various of habit in the next level. First, these two put to inbox and have a planning habit. Well, please raise your hand. Who tries this stuff? Who tries this stuff during these lessons? Who tries this stuff? A couple of you, yeah. So, what's the feeling? Was it help for you, or do you have some struggling?
We keep track of all the thoughts and ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great. What's about you? Yeah, yeah. And it's about you?
Yes, it's not so very difficult for me to send a message to people, but just wait maybe 1 2 hours that I
Mm-hmm.
will finish all my duties and I'll send your that you really want. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, great, great. So you see, 3 of 3 positive reviews. You will have your money for this later. Okay, yeah, yeah. So 3 of 3 positive, and for me it's 4. So again, please try to do it. Just try for a couple of days, and you will see that here for you. I hope it will help. It will help you too. But when we go, why we stuck on this, why we have this proto planning habit, because we are going to level 1, no, level 2, not during this course, but for, I think in a week or in a 2 week you will be ready to try. And what is this? You will have multiple habits. At first, write everything to inbox, not just forward the messages, but write every idea, every plan, every project to inbox. Then finding when your projects need next actions. So if you've done something to your project and you now it's stuck and you don't understand, is it it's dependent on you or is it dependent on you? So you will force to see what's the next action. Is it waiting or action? Next, make in planning stage. This is why you train your habit idea of planning now. Next, work with next action. I tell you that next action has no, well, they have a direction how to simplify it, but there is no strict algorithm. And so this is another skill that you need to obtain. Yeah, the skill, yeah, it's not just out of the box. And then work in flow state. This flow when you are deep work and you are not disrupted by everything, because everything you can be disrupted of. Going to inbox. Goal, take task under control, and you may remember this stuff from my inbox. I put it here because I have this in the inbox. Well, when we're talking about productivity, and when we talk about productivity a lot in this course, moment, we talk about productivity a lot in this course, and we talk about some high concept about what productivity is in general. But in the at the flow, most of the productivity I get during this years is just this stuff: answer to people if they ask me, and know do I need to do something with the project or not, because there are a lot of uh, events when one of these increase my productivity and one of these tell me that I am at control of the situation. So try this first and then we will go further. Entities that we will have: inbox, projects, next actions, references, and event calendar. And yeah, yeah, there are some of my inboxes. Tika, it's my task manager. Getpocket. Do anyone of you know what Getpocket is? Is up to save articles for later. So if you're reading multiple articles in the internet, you can save for later and later. I, what? Well, no, Zotero is message. It's manager, and inbox. Getpocket is just inbox for articles. So is there a? It's very simple to put the article just by one widget, and you can return. But you can return it when you want. I have a tray, well, physical tray like this for my papers. I have a notebook like this. This is really cool notebook because, well, it is infinite. I can put additional papers whenever I want, and this notebook come to me, I think, 4 years ago, and I really like it, and it's beautiful. Yeah. I have VKTM chat because I use all these messages as you are. I have a dictaphone like this, and I have a magnet sheet, well, like this. because I really like to put some in box and clean. While you're cleaning some stuff, it's really a relief just by feelings. And you have programs, task manager and calendar. I will share some task manager later. Don't yet think about goals and put everything what you want to ideas. It's the next level of thinking about goals. And firstly, focus on inbox compilation and planning. So routines that are waiting for you. So you see that there are more than two. We are starting now. The first level is 2 routines, but this is 1 of 5 routines. So it is much more difficult, but you can get it. I am sure. Yeah, and about one of the routines about planning, and it's something like this for me. You may remind a scheme like this when I was talking about GTD, but now I will not stay on this and tell it completely. But what I want you to see on here, that you have some inbox, you have some projects that you need to say, is it next action or not? You have a next action idea, future inbox, calendar reference, all of this I was mentioned. And if you have something in box, you proceed all in box, and you proceed all projects to understand what to do next. And if you don't do anything next, you can delete it, you can put it to reference, and you can put it to ideas just when to understand that you will do it someone later. So I want to spend a minute to read this so you can read it. Understand, is it clear in general way? Because in a tactical way you will do it in not now, because now you are in level 1, you need to proceed this stuff. But where you go? So everything you have is an idea, it's some reference, it's some involved, it's some potential action, or it's a project that you already hold and you need to understand what to do next. So is it clear in general idea? Yeah. So let's get further. Task manager. Well, if you have any task manager, just use it. So I use TickTick, but firstly I use it not because it was the best task manager, but just because I have already installed in my system. There is Todoist. It may be the famous one task manager in the world. If you have Singularity, it's Russian built task manager, so you can do it. Make it, for example, my girlfriend uses Singularity, and some of you I know use Singularity too. So you can ask these guys how are the Singularity app for them. Yeah, again, once upon a time there will be my task manager, but in a year or two, I think. Again, what I do? Well, I have a calendar and I have an events in calendar. I have something that I want to do today, and I have this next action list. And you see, sorry, it's Russian because I just Russian in regular life. I have to see something, to write something, to discuss something with someone, to clean something, to download something, to write something, and so on and so forth. So it's everything. It's a verb, and every task is really simple for me. This is why we called it actions. And I have some context to write people, to ask something to people, to do something at home, to do something locally is when I can do it every time I'm at home. I see that I can do it, and I just go away. I see in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, because it's my native city, and something I can go do in while I am on computer and Google. So you see, this context not about work or home. This stuff is about what to do. Yeah. 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 And this next actions. This is следующие действия. Next actions. They actually are combined from. They actually put it in one of these contexts. Just tick combine allow me to put them there. So this is where I suggest you to go in level 1. Again, there is some context and some problems that you will have. Some problems that you will have. Well, I will rush them a little bit because again, you will need some time to get to this level, and then you can just read this presentation and ask me if you want. I am always available for you. So about there is rigid and flexible tasks. Rigid is it's something that you need to have a deadline or a start line, and flexible is that you can do practically everywhere. So put to calendar only rigid, only time-related tasks. They need be as you have need train your skills to formulate tasks to next actions. The ideal next action is something like this, but it's a skill, and there are sometimes even I have this thing for 5 years, and still I sometimes understand that I put it as next action, but actually for me it's not next action because I just don't I overestimate my understanding of myself. You must be clear about is it project or action. This is about this stuff. So is anything is more than one action, it's a project. Even it's such a simple idea of well. I already tell you this idea that I need to go too low, but to go too low, I need to ask where he is, and this will be project to me because it's more than one action. Small projects are still projects, and this is just a tip how you can write them in your task manager to stay in touch. So just project and what to do. I done this stuff, I make this symbol, and next I done this stuff. So it's just annotation that I suggest you for small projects. Long projects must be clear about is you need next action. So this is how you can do this. And there are a question I think you asked yesterday about do we need to put on the first next action or the whole project? So it's or the whole process. So it depends. If you have typically you put only one action because this first one next action may change everything that you supposed to do. For example, today I went to my supervisor, asked him about the work I am doing, and he says that this work is not relevant, just stop do it. So it will be a pity if I have all these steps and I will just need to go to put them to the rubbish. So usually it's just one next action. But if something is stick in your head, if something is stick there and you want to put it just to make your head empty, then put it all. Sometimes you don't need to put an action at all, but it's really the case. Sometimes you have well, not a goal but a dream, and it's okay for you to not to know where to start because starting requires some creativity. And it is okay that you can put no action, but it must be your solution. You need to understand, okay, I know I put no action, and maybe sometimes I notice something that can maybe someday I will think something, but if not, that's okay. And the important idea of pollution, but while you will see that you put next action, but they are really not actions. And how you will see it, you will see that you will try to avoid looking next actions. You know you try to avoid it because there are something you don't want to see there, and your brain says no, 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 it's let it stay there. You don't want to look at it, and this is if it's the case, then your next action are poisoned, and you need to uh, understand, reflect on yourself of what is you're afraid of, and when you understand what you're afraid of, just put it again to inbox and reformulate or make it implementation intention. Yeah, this stuff I will not make it there. Yeah, I will not. You can rate it, and yeah, you can experiment for yourself for something. Will not stay there, but you can make some little experiments about yourself. Level 3, it's what we was talking. So I just rush into it. I just stop if you want to read, and we will have a break after this presentation finish. Now we will have a 10 minutes break, and we will start the material of today lecture. So let's please, no, 11 minutes break. So at 9 o'clock, please. Можно. В целом можно. Смотри, в целом всегда можно. Фишка в том, что довольно часто это просто лишняя работа. Довольно часто огромное количество проектов, они довольно-таки линейные. Они, ты все равно не потеряешься в том, чего тебе делать после того, как ты сделал одно действие. И тогда это лишняя работа, причем она может быть не актуальной, потому что первое действие может сделать неактуальным все остальные. Да, это скорее, в первую очередь, это про то, чтобы просто не делать лишнюю работу самому себе. Потому что, ты сделал, а потом ты такой, у тебя обстоятельства изменились, а у тебя как бы записано, что тебе надо было сделать, значит, надо следовать предыдущему плану, а он уже как бы не актуальный. Вот. А выкидывать жалко, потому что выкидывать всегда жалко. Вот. Есть проекты, которые более комплексные, где реально надо записать все. Например, там я готовил вузовскую конференцию в Бауманке, и мне надо было думать о куче вещей, о дизайне, о спикерах, о аудитории, обо всем, и я просто не мог быть держать это в голове, и там я действительно выписал не просто один эксепшн, а прям весь план, чтобы, мне было спокойно, я понимал, что я ничего не упустил. Но большинство проектов, они не такие. Проекты серии, там вот я показывал, связать двух людей и понять, куда мы пойдем, он не такой, мне не нужно писать третьим экшеном, что вот в какой-то день мы реально туда пойдем, потому что когда мне оба человека ответят, я буду знать, что просто логично, что мы туда идем. А если мне один ответит, что не на следующей неделе, то next action будет не что мы туда пойдем, а напомнить им через неделю об этом. So firstly, I want to review a question that was asked by one of you. If there will be a lot of next actions, will not be a context switch? And the answer, if your next action is all about other context, obviously it will be context switch. But the idea is not to make everything just from next action, list. You can start to work with next action, and then you will just work in and do what you was planned. And for example, I had my pet project of creating my to-do list, and I have an exact function where I want to start. And when I return, I will start with this function, but I will not end it immediately after this function will be created. I will just continue programming. But this is a good starting point. Let's continue. Yeah.
We have some split it into smaller ones, but they
Yeah.
can be done without us. For example, have a task, create a backup, upload the version to server,
Yeah.
run server, check if everything works.
Yeah.
How to deal with it?
So if you have not one exception, but multiple possibilities in the next session.
Actions but they must be done
Um,
one after
mhm.
another.
Well, one after another or independently.
One after another.
So, well, this is an interesting question. Right now, I am doing just, I have a, how it called, Castile. I do something like this. I just do something like this. I make a message for me that writes something like action 1, and then I will do action. I just have just this kind of notation, and this notation tell me that I make this first action, then I will have next action, and etc. etc. Well, this is a notation for me now, but yeah, if you have a few exceptions, yeah. Okay, so let's continue.